morning, my friends. I have a lot to talk about today. Let's hope my phone don't shut off on me because I don't have any storage left as usual. Alright, so this is by no means I hate the police video. Let me start by saying that, okay? I do not hate the police as a whole, okay? But we do have a big problem that needs to be recognized. And there are some out there that are still in denial about this. Maybe because they've been cops, so they are cops, and they see things through a different lens than we do because we don't do the job. We're not the ones risking our lives every day when we leave the house. They are. And I'm sure it is scary to be a cop. But see, that's where I think they need more training. Okay, because when they're scared, when they're rookies, mistakes happen and then people get hurt, okay? Or when they're rookies, they take it to the head. They think that, they're big and tough. And they don't have to even be rookies. Some sergeants are like this. A lot of superiors have a very bad attitude. A lot of just the police patrolling have a bad attitude. I want to talk about a couple of videos that I saw. One of them resonates with me because I've taken care of people who are mentally, physically challenged. That's what I do for a living. I've done it for almost 20 years. I also have a child who's disabled, okay? If anyone ever treated my child this way, I know he was a grown man, but it doesn't matter. He still has a mother and a father, I'm sure, out there who care about him. He has family, okay? And they treated this man, it looked like they were lynching him. I'm not even kidding. I'm not trying to make this into a race thing, but it's clear. The picture's clear in my head of what they were doing. They were definitely profiling this man. He apparently had stopped at his property. Now, I don't know if he has a tenement house or whatever, and he was going there to collect cable boxes. And apparently they claim he left a known drug house. Now, I don't know anything about this man, his history, his home. It's not apparently where he lives, but he does rent to people, apparently. So I don't know a whole lot about him or whatever his background, but it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter if he had drugs in that car. The way they ripped him out of that car was so disgusting, okay? And I don't understand how these cops are doing this with their body cams on. This is what blows my mind. This is what makes me think, what did they do when they didn't have body cams? I've had a lot of run-in with the police in my lifetime when I was younger. I've been pulled over a lot. That one time I told you guys about, if you want to go back and listen to my story, it's on another video. I don't remember which one. I apologize. But I did have a situation where I could have probably had a lawsuit against the New Bedford City Police. But I didn't pursue it. I was young. I let it go. But it was definitely violation of my rights all up and down, and still I still never even heard anything about this story, that's this supposed armed robbery that supposedly they thought I did, as I was sitting there with my car parked off. Well, if I just robbed somewhere, I'm not sitting there. I'm not gonna be sitting there shooting the crap with somebody in my, it didn't even make sense to me. So at the end of the day, they must have thought my car was someone else. They must have thought maybe they were looking for something, because the guy that I was with, I found out later, had a drug problem. So I don't know. I still don't know to this day. But anyway, I've been through it myself. But this was they dragged him. He's paraplegic, okay? They pull him over and they're like, well, you just left a known drug house, so we're searching your car. You need to get out. And he's like, I'm not getting out. I didn't do anything wrong. And I can't get out. My legs don't move. And he's like, well, you got in there somehow. You can get out. And he's like, I'll help you. And the guy's obviously fighting them, calling people to come to the scene with cameras to record because he knew what was about to go down. Now, I don't know if this man's had run-in with the police before, or he just felt it in his soul from the way the man was talking to him, the officer, but he was smart to have people come there. I believe he did ask them to call their superior, and I think they said no. They dragged this man by his hair, in arms, just letting his limp legs drag on the cement. I'm just baffled. Even if he had drugs in that car, I'm baffled by the way these people treat human beings. Who's in charge of teaching these cops these procedures? Because they're wrong. They are so wrong. First of all, he should have called a canine, okay? And then they should have dealt with it. No, he ripped him out that car. He didn't even give him a chance. He just ripped him out that car. And they dragged the man. I just can't. Like, then there's another one, which this one isn't as bad, but it just goes to show you the attitude, the hot-headedness, clearly they have mental health problems or something. Like, you're not stable if you're acting this way, if you're that angry at the public. If you're that angry at somebody that wants to come and file a report on your police who are overstepping their boundaries. They don't like that. They get angry, and they shouldn't. They take it personally. So this guy is at the airport, and God forbid you film at the airport these days. God forbid. That's how bad they've gotten us, okay? Since 911, things have gotten really bad. So this guy's over there, he's recording, and one of the security lady comes up, and she's like, you're not supposed to record in here. You can't record a security, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, ma'am, it's my First Amendment right. Yes, I can. I'm a journalist. I'm collecting information for a story. So then she walks away and calls the state police. He goes and talks to the supervisor of the airport, and he says, dude, you're fine. Don't worry about it. You're good. Go record, whatever. So here comes a state trooper on his bicycle with an attitude already. Give me your ID, please. And the guy's like, sir, I didn't commit a crime. And he's like, I don't care. I'm giving you an order to give me your ID. And he's like, can you, he's like, this isn't a stop and ID state. And he's like, oh, I'm not, you're not going to sit here and tell me the laws. We're not going to do this. We're not going to go back and forth. I asked you for your ID. You're going to give me your ID because I said so. This is how they act, because I said so. What's getting his ID going to do for them? What are they going to find out that he's a teen? I mean, what is it going to do? You didn't need to identify him. He wasn't doing anything wrong, and he's trying to explain to him, look, I just talked to security. I'm not doing anything wrong. Therefore, you have no reason to be asking me for my ID. He ends up in cuffs. Long story short, he goes to the state police, tries to file a complaint. Goes in there. They call for the supervisor. Supervisor comes out. He's like, well, I'm firearms. I'm not in charge of that division. You got to go to this building, blah, 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 blah. So the guy's trying to, tell him, dude, you cops are out of control. You can't be doing this to people. Why? And the cop did not want to hear it. He was already angry because he was recording him. He said, I'm not talking to you while you're recording me. We could talk like men. Shut off the camera. And he didn't shut it off, which is good, because then it caught this hothead attacking him. He's like, oh, you got everything you need now. You can go, right? You're going to go, right? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to go. And he's like, because I got work to do. And the guy did kind of say something cocky to him, but freedom of speech, guys. If you're that thin-skinned, you shouldn't be a cop. If you're that bothered by words, and he didn't even really say anything that bad. He's like, all right, well, if you got work to do, then go do it. Get to work. He comes, he snatches his camera, he's grabbing him, and he's like, get out of here now, and he's yelling at him, and it was just, this is the way some of these police are acting, guys, and it's not right. I don't know where they think they got this big authority. They're no different than you and I. They drive like idiots. They park their car illegally with no lights on. They drive 100 miles an hour. They cut people off. They don't follow the rule of the law. I mean, the law of the road. No blinker. I've seen it all. Talking on their phone. All this stuff, right? But yet, they'll pull you over. They'll kidnap you. Take you to jail. Make you pay all this money. It's just insanity. It's not right. And how did we get here? I don't know. I feel like this is all just, it's getting so bad. Their behavior is getting worse instead of better. I don't know. I don't get it. You'd think that they would try to fix this problem. Which president, besides whoever put the body cams in, which I'm going to assume was Obama, they still act up, and they can shut them cams off, and they can edit them cams. They can edit that footage. It doesn't matter at the end of the day, right? You got to record. I don't care if they tell you don't, you can't, you're not. No, you record them. You keep that phone on. And again, I don't agree with not complying. If you feel like they're going to be violent with you, then just get out the car. And you know what? Sue them. That's the best way to go. Yeah, it might take a long time. Yeah, I understand people don't have money to sue. They know this. This is why they do this. They know people will eventually just drop it and say forget it or whatever. But There are certain people that are constantly harassed, constantly treated like this. And it's not right. It's got to stop. This profiling crap has to stop. Like, come on, you're cops. You're not the FBI. You're cops. You're doing a traffic stop. You're doing a traffic stop. You don't go fishing for drugs. You don't try to do that. You don't ask people for their IDs in the car to see if anybody has warrants. That is not what their job is about. If someone's committing a crime, about to commit a crime, whatever, which I heard by 2023, we're going to have these drones in the sky that are going to be able to tell if you're about to commit a crime. They're going to be able to read your heart rate, your pulse, your breathing, if you sneeze, I'm telling you. This is how draconian things are about to be. This is why you're watching this war, now threat of nuclear war. Guys, all they're doing is taking your attention from what they just did for the last 2 years, the lives they've ruined, the damage they've done, the people they've hurt, the people they've killed. Now we're going to kill more innocent people just to get your mind off of the other people. This is how it works. They're acting, people probably think that convoy's over. There's still like 8,000 trucks out there. It's not over. It's not done. And you know, now they're telling people you can take off, you know what, right? But we still got our kids wearing them. There's still kids wearing them. There's mothers freaking out because, what's his name there the other day told them, you know, take that mask off. Stop this political theater. An 18-year-old kid, she's all flipping out. He's an adult. You know, if he feels safe, let him take it off. If you have a comorbidity, and then she's over there yelling and she don't even have a mask on herself. She's following the do as I say, not as I do people. Like, unreal. It's unreal. And I know I have one on, but I got to wear it for work. So I got to go get tested for work. And soon I'm probably going to be faced with the jibba jab, which I don't know what's going to happen. I know I'm not taking it. So, I don't know. I know I'm not putting no chip in my hand. That's not happening. So I don't know, guys. I do know that I got a feeling, and like I said, it's because Christian people are not going to want to take this chip. And it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a big problem. You're going to have all these people against it. You're going to, just like what we just went through with the bug and the jab. It's no different. We're going to go through the same thing. And they're going to have to, you know, do away with a certain religion because, you know, they're just getting in the way of things. They're not complying. We don't know who they are. They might be teased, you know. We got to know who everybody is, what everybody's doing, what you're spending your money on. Yeah, everything you say, do, whatever, they'll be able to monitor. You'll have no privacy, but you'll be happy. You'll have nothing, but you'll be happy. This is the new slogan for the Great Reset. All these countries at the end of the day are working together behind the curtain. They had to get your mind off what they just did because too much truth was coming out. Too many people were coming out and telling the truth. Too many people talking to each other about it. You start a conversation with someone and say, oh yeah, you know, do you know anybody that's been hurt by the, you know what? You'll be amazed at the answers that you get. That's the messed up part. And doctors are not acknowledging it. That's the even more messed up part. Some of them are, but a lot of them are not. I don't know, guys. We are in big trouble. Then I see another video of a little baby. Face all busted up. Big bruise on his head. The police dropped him out the police car, a 1-year-old. They call his mother and they say, oh, you know, you need to come down here to get your child. There was an accident. Hold on, guys.
Good morning. What can I get for you?
Hi, can I have a medium iced French vanilla caramel swirl regular?
A medium ice, French vanilla caramel made regular. Anything else?
Nope, that's it, hon.
Thank you.
Thank you. So they're like, yeah, you need to come down here. So they go down and they're like, oh, he's okay. We checked him out. We had the EMTs check him out. You don't need to take him to the hospital. He could have a head injury. When paramedics come to check somebody that has a head injury, which they do at my work all the time, they're not able to see inside the head what's going on, right? You're talking about a baby that fell face first onto the concrete, and you wouldn't go and have their head checked, especially because the police just had them in their custody. Wouldn't they want to cover their butt? But no. And that whole thing is weird too. They did a no-knock warrant check on this guy. He apparently had the kids. They said they knocked. 10 seconds later, they busted through the door and he shot at them, which he has the right to do because he didn't know who was busting through his door. But how do you get your gun out that quickly? Unless he's like got it under his bed or something like that. Like you figure you hear someone smashing on your door. I don't know. I don't keep my ammunition in my gun because I have kids, and he had his kids there. So that's the only thing that's a little weird about that story. But anyway, what happened to the baby was disgusting. And again, I'm seeing a lot of 4-year-olds in the news lately. And I'm always like this. I'm always like, that's got to mean something. What does it mean? Somebody's trying to tell me something. And if you look up the number 4 in the Bible, there are a lot of references. And one of them is the Great Tribulation, the 4 angels of the corner of the earth. But there's a lot more, and it just kind of freaked me out. But hold on, guys.